Andrea Pirlo, the man who has always played 1 second ahead of everyone else, has finally broken his silence about Messi and Ronaldo. And his truth is unsettling. According to Pirlo, one of them doesn't even give you time to think. The other, on the other hand, makes you feel fear even before the ball reaches his feet. But what does it really mean to face Messi and Ronaldo from the point of view of a midfield genius? And why does this confession change forever the way we see their rivalry? Andrea Pirlo is not a man who speaks just to fill the air. He never has been. When he analyzes a match, he does it like an architect looking at a city from above, understanding how the streets connect, where traffic builds up, and at which point a minimal alteration can trigger chaos. And precisely because of that, his vision of Messi and Ronaldo carries more weight than 1,000 television debates filled with noise and rushed opinions. Pirlo doesn't give opinions, he dissects. Pirlo lived the golden age of this rivalry from the inside, from the pitch itself, where there are no replays and no pause button. He watched Messi dominate the game with an almost cruel naturalness, season after season, until surpassing numbers that once seemed untouchable. He saw records fall one after another without theatrics, as if they were nothing more than statistical formalities. Even at 38 years old, Messi continues to lead the statistics in goal involvement, as if time had decided to ignore him, or worse, to obey him. On the other side, Pirlo faced Cristiano Ronaldo in the middle of his transformation. He witnessed how an electric winger turned into a complete machine, a perfect construction of discipline, obsession, and endless hunger. No longer just talent, but a mind programmed for goals and a body designed to withstand any demand. A footballer capable of scoring nearly 60 goals per season and of changing the fate of a match with a single movement, a single leap, a single impact. And then the real question arises. How can a midfielder, someone accustomed to controlling rhythm, space, and time, defend himself against two players who destroy precisely those three certainties? How does someone who lives off order face two forces that thrive on chaos? This is where Pirlo's confession takes shape. Andrea Pirlo's confession does not come from a media provocation. It doesn't arrive after a humiliating defeat, nor during a television controversy designed to generate headlines. It comes much later, almost by chance, when the noise surrounding Messi and Ronaldo had already become normalized, when the football world had accepted their presence as something routine. Pirlo was talking about control, about how a midfielder tries to dominate a match by using time as an ally. And that's where his tone changes, because according to him, there have been two players who made this principle useless. Against Messi, Pirlo says, there was no system that worked. You could be perfectly positioned, read the play in advance, feel like you had everything under control. And then, in an instant, the ball was no longer where you thought it was. There was no time to react, not even time to understand what had just happened. The game kept going, but your mind stayed behind, trying to reconstruct an action that was already in the past. With Ronaldo, on the other hand, the feeling was different, not improvised, constant. A weight that grew minute by minute, like a threat that never disappears. Every cross became a real possibility of disaster. Every meter lost, an unnecessary risk. Fear didn't arrive after the action, but before it. It settled in slowly, like an invisible pressure on your shoulders. And it is precisely at that moment that Pirlo delivers the key phrase. He doesn't talk about who is stronger. He doesn't talk about who is better. He talks about who takes control away from you. When Pirlo says that Messi doesn't give you time to think, he's not talking about pure speed. He's not talking about sprinting or physical power. He's talking about something far more disturbing. Messi doesn't run faster than you. He runs faster than your brain. For a midfielder like Pirlo, thinking is surviving. Every pass is born from an extra fraction of a second. Every decision is the result of dozens of simultaneous readings: position, space, body orientation, off-the-ball movement. Messi destroys all of this, not because he does impossible things, but because he does them before you've finished processing the situation. Pirlo explains that against Messi, there is no feeling of making a mistake. There is only the feeling of being late. You never feel like you defended badly. You feel like you arrived too late. You are always half a second behind, and half a second in elite football is an eternity. Messi receives the ball and, even before you can decide whether to step up or hold your position, he has already chosen. The dribble is not a spectacular technical gesture. It is the natural consequence of your hesitation, of your attempt to think. And this is where Pirlo's statement becomes devastating. Because a player who takes away your time to think does not beat you physically. He beats you mentally. The real fear, Pirlo implies without saying it outright, is not losing a duel. It is realizing that the game you love, the one you have always controlled through intelligence and reading, no longer belongs to you. That someone has entered your natural territory and made it irrelevant. With Cristiano Ronaldo, Pirlo explains, the problem is not time. It is waiting. Ronaldo doesn't surprise you. He warns you. And precisely because of that, he terrifies you. When Pirlo talks about fear, he's not referring to immediate panic. He's referring to constant tension, to an alert that never switches off. You know the ball will arrive. You know the play will end there. You know that sooner or later, Ronaldo will strike. And that certainty wears you down. Every cross is an alarm. Every corner kick, a suspended threat. Every loose ball, an opportunity for him. The defensive line drops a few meters, not because of a tactical mistake, but out of pure survival instinct. Ronaldo, according to Pirlo, wins the match before touching the ball because he forces the opponent to defend with fear of making a mistake. To defend while constantly imagining the worst possible scenario. If Messi steals half a second from you, Ronaldo steals your serenity. He forces you to be perfect for 90 minutes, knowing that he only needs one chance. One. And when that chance arrives, he usually doesn't miss. And this is where the true difference is born. Messi punishes you when you make a mistake while thinking. Ronaldo punishes you when you make a mistake while enduring. Pirlo doesn't say that one is better than the other. He says that one breaks your rhythm and the other breaks your nerves. One dismantles your game from the inside. The other pushes you to the limit from the outside. Pirlo's confession goes far beyond Messi and Ronaldo. It becomes a key to understanding how football has changed over the last 20 years. For decades, football was divided between creators and finishers, between artists and executors, but rarely had two players imposed two fears so different, at the same time and at the same level. The fear of Messi is invisible. It is born in the space between two thoughts. That's why modern teams try to close passing lanes, compress space, and defend not so much the man, but time itself. Defending by trying to steal from Messi that instant he needs to decide. The fear of Ronaldo, on the other hand, is physical and psychological. The body anticipates the mind. Defenses drop back, accept suffering, accept being pushed deep, as long as they don't concede that single moment that can decide everything. According to Pirlo, this is where modern football has lost its innocence. You no longer defend to dominate. You defend to survive. Coaches, analysts, physical trainers, and mental coaches have all had to choose which fear to accept. Would you rather be defeated by Messi's unpredictability or live 90 minutes waiting for Ronaldo's inevitable impact? And perhaps the absolute greatness of this rivalry is precisely this. They haven't just won matches. They have changed the way football thinks about itself. They have redefined fear within the game. In the end, Andrea Pirlo does not choose a winner. He does something far rarer and far more honest. He explains why Messi and Ronaldo cannot be judged by the same standard. One takes away your time, the other takes away your calm. One wins by entering your mind, the other wins by occupying your fears. And perhaps that is why their rivalry will never end. Because it's not just about football, it's about two opposite ways of dominating the game and the human being. If this video made you see Messi and Ronaldo in a different light, like it, share it, and subscribe to the channel. And now, tell me in the comments, which of these two fears would you choose to face?